This is John Paul, coming from Tokyo, Japan, and I wanted to pitch in on my negative thoughts about The Rise of Skywalker, and I gotta say, once again, disclaimer, I've only seen it once, and only seeing a movie once, I don't think it could form a definitive opinion, negative, positive, or whatever, but I'm gonna get into my initial reactions of the negative things here. Basically, I'm gonna say, right off the bat, obviously, the huge thing to deal with is that Rey, spoilers coming up, you've been warned, beats Palpatine, seemingly kind of one-on-one. I mean, I know she had help by the Jedi spirits, or they gave her some kind of motivation or something like that, but it just didn't seem like they were helping. It was just kind of like a cheerleading squad, like, go Rey, you could do this, you got this. Like, the words that were chosen for Luke, the Force is with you always, didn't seem like the right thing to say. It would have been better if they had them help in some way, like she was kind of feeling like she couldn't do it and they encouraged her to get that final blow in or something. It just kind of seemed like she was gonna push through with it anyway. That was the impression I got. Obviously, the thing about this is, say what you want about the prophecy, the chosen one, it just really makes what Luke and Anakin did seem so much less important. It doesn't really matter that much if Palpatine died that first time, if he's just going to come back. So, in a way, you could just start from 7. If he's the main villain who's trying to destroy the galaxy or take over the galaxy, and he gets beaten 9, then what were 1 through 6 for except kind of a history? Obviously there's a lot going on besides this main plot line, but if you get my drift, it really diminishes the value of what comes before, not only for Luke and Anakin, but for everybody who helped them along the way. It doesn't mean so much anymore. Now, my main problem isn't only that this is in the movie, it's that they chose to go down this path with the story, because it's the same freaking thing, kill the past. And I'm not a fan of kill the past. I'm a fan of honor the past and move on. If you want to kill a few things about the past that make sense to kill, that need to end, that need to go away or something, that's fine. But don't belittle the accomplishments of the past. So that there makes this, in my opinion, a terrible Star Wars movie. It doesn't matter about the details, this part was good, that part was good, it just doesn't work. It aims to completely change the history, and I don't really want people who aren't George Lucas doing that. It just doesn't work for me, it doesn't feel right. And the whole movie, which I will say was enjoyable, didn't feel right. And that's another thing. Just because you enjoyed it doesn't mean it's a good movie or it's a good Star Wars movie. Alright? A lot of people said, I enjoyed it. It's a good movie. It's a good Star Wars movie. You know what? I enjoyed it too. The time I saw it, that one time, so that doesn't mean a lot of the things that happened made sense or they fit well in the Star Wars universe. Now, let's get to Luke. And the thing about Luke is this. I thought about this. Obviously, Luke raises the X-Wing out of the water, and first thing that came to mind, well, that's what we should have seen in The Last Jedi, so now we gotta see him do it as a Force Ghost. But the other thing that came to mind was this. When Yoda did it, it was like, oh my god, that is great, that's amazing, Luke is in awe, holy shit, R2's in awe, for Christ's sake. But when Rey is there, it's like Rey is so powerful, it feels like she could have done it herself. It feels like it's not really a big deal. It feels like, okay, Luke's the one that does it, basically. It doesn't feel like this incredible thing that's being done, and Rey has to be like, oh my god. She's already seen stuff like that. She's seen crazy stuff. She's done crazy stuff herself. She was just moving her ship around in the air, like a couple hours ago or something like that. And it just seems like that really takes away from that scene. Now, did I like that scene? Yeah, I guess. I appreciate the fact that they tried to reckon Luke, and they did a pretty good job with it, although it was very obvious. I appreciate it, but, I just think that scene could have been a lot better, because also he asks Rey, what are you afraid of? And she doesn't say Sidious. He's this all-powerful, legendary Sith Lord. I'm scared to go up against him. Or Kylo, he's unstable. Maybe we have feelings, or, I might do something crazy. She's like, myself. I'm scared of myself. because she's awesome, she's Rey, and nothing scares her except her own damn powerful self. I really, really didn't like that, and I think it's a subtle thing that a lot of people might miss, but I've really been studying Rey's character for a long time, and I think it was just kind of a miss on that too. Also, obviously, Rey, she really ruins the whole thing. Let's take that Zori Bliss scene. So, I wasn't looking forward to Zori Bliss, because I wasn't looking forward to anything. I was just going to see it and judge it how it was. But when Zori Bliss comes, she's supposed to be intimidating. She's got the cool suit. She's like, the Phasma, the Boba Fett, that kind of thing. But I'm thinking the whole time, well, Rey's there, so what the hell is she going to possibly do? She's not intimidating. She's not going to hurt Poe. She's not going to jump on them. She's not going to shoot them, because Rey is there. What do you know? Rey just whips out her lightsaber and ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, everyone's gone, everyone's down, and Zori Bliss is nothing. Rey's like, we could use your help, because, you're just a girl with a gun, you're just a new character, and of course, you're not as good as me, so let's move on. So, right there, even when new characters come in, just simply because Rey is there, it takes away from, wow, the awe, what's this character going to do? Oh, maybe she's going to be badass. Maybe they got it right this time. Nope, just another Phasma, just another character right there. But again, the main point is Rey kind of hurts the ability for other characters to shine, and that's what a Mary Sue does. A Mary Sue is not someone who does everything perfect. A Mary Sue is somebody who hurts the ability for other characters to shine, especially the original canon characters. Now, let's get to Finn. Rey is basically there so Finn can't shine. And Finn, this whole movie, shouts, "Rey, look out! Kylo! Rey, look out! Jump! Rey, look out! Do this!" And that's all he's there for. He's just shouting for Rey. It doesn't really add to his character. He doesn't do anything, important. He's just there screaming, and his face is like so worried for like, Rey, oh my god, Rey! And it's just like he's nothing. He's absolutely nothing. So Rey, pretty much being there, makes Finn useless. And, we got Poe. He's got to be like, oh, you're the best fighter we got. We need you here, Rey. Rey. Everything's Rey. This was a difference, especially with Anakin. He was just kind of faulty. He was unstable. He was just kind of doing his own thing. He got his arm cut off. He got all his limbs cut off, basically. There's real consequences for Anakin's mistakes. Same thing with Luke. There's real consequences for Luke's mistakes. So, the thing about Rey is she really hurts my ability to like any of the Disney trilogy movies, especially this movie, The Rise of Skywalker. The training with her and Leia was... I'm digesting that, I think it's cool Leia ended up being a Jedi, that's fine, but I'm not sure we need to have Leia train Rey in this particular movie. I did not like changing pace a little bit here, changing subject. Chewie's psych out death, I never liked those deaths. In Lord of the Rings Part 2, The Two Towers, I hated that they faked out Aragorn's death. It was so cheap. It was so cheesy for those of us who had read the novels or even just knew the story. Like, basically, obviously Aragorn's not dead. Chewie, I did not think he was dead. It was just kind of a little silly for me. There's one thing that was pointed out by Anna, that Star Wars girl, that Rey is of course very proficient in sailing on these huge waves in this water planet when she grew up on a desert. There's a lot of little logical things like that in this Disney trilogy that a lot of people would say, oh, you're being too harsh, too much detail. Yeah, I gotcha. I got that, guys. But when there's so much of it, when it all keeps piling on, it gets to be like one big flaw, basically. Yeah, I'm not going to point out certain details and hold their feet to the fire on everything, but, like I said, there's just so much. Okay, next thing is this. I don't expect every plot line and every mystery to be fulfilled, but they left too many big ones up in the air. Alright? The first one, not quite a mystery, but the Knights of Ren. They just weren't really well developed. They didn't really do much. Kylo or Ben takes them out very quick. And obviously the huge one is that Palpatine is not explained. I guess they're going to explain it in the novel. That's complete bullshit and it doesn't count. Because I judge this content on what's in the movies. Because how many people are going to read the novel who saw the movie? 5%? Maybe less? Maybe slightly more? It's going to be, very, very few people. So it went unexplained to the very large part of the audience, and that is piss poor writing. That's the kind of piss poor writing I was talking about Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and now it continues. We get an explanation on Snoke, and I guess it helps, but it just really seems quick and short-handed. Like, he was a clone, no big deal. So, really what they could have done instead of this Wayfinder plotline adventure going back and forth place to place and all this crap is they could have gotten more deep into character study and what actually happened to those little things they left open. I would have said, obviously get more into Luke and Kylo and his school, things like that. Why did Kylo actually follow the dark side in more detail? And it's just basically, they explain a few things. How did Maz get Luke's lightsaber? Alright, instead of Maz just kinda around, she could have explained that. That would have been a nice thing to explain. Like I said, I won't exactly hate on these things too much, but there was just a little too much left open. Alright, now here's the last thing, because we're going to be talking about negatives for the next 10 years, is that Palpatine was very underused. He came in the beginning, and he was in the end, but it wasn't really like he was this big main villain, because he just popped in and out. That was it. I can't remember, like I said, only seen it once, but I can't remember so much of him in the middle. It was just pretty much the beginning and the end. So it was really about Rey and Kylo, and we already got that. We have enough of that in The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens and in this movie. So if they're bringing back this big baddie of the saga, they should have used him more. So, technically, I can't quite say that's a negative against the movie, but it really hurts the whole overall feel and fear that you're supposed to have. Because this trilogy just doesn't have any scary villains. There's just nobody who comes on and I'm scared of what's going to happen, when they're around. And even Palpatine, we knew he was going to get beat some way, somehow, by Rey, and it just feels like Tango and Cash, or one of those Lethal Weapon movies where, the duo is never actually in danger. And that's the huge, huge ass problem with Rey, and even Poe and Finn. It just never feels like they're in danger. And in Empire, it really felt like they were in danger. In Revenge of the Sith and the prequels, it really felt like they were in danger. Anakin gets his arm cut off, and you just don't know what's going to happen from there. So here it's just kind of like the Disney movie, where the princess and the prince can't get hurt. Their friends can't get hurt or killed. No one gets killed. I mean, it's not a necessity for someone to get killed to make a good movie, but, that would have helped. That would have added some weight. There's no weight to this situation. Yeah, okay, wait. Ben dies. That was the worst death. That was something I didn't like either. It would have been way better if Rey died. Right? Ben comes up. He's like, I'm going to save her. She killed Palpatine. We're together. Holy shit, she's dead. Wow. I guess they couldn't end the movie on that tone. I guess they had to have it a happy tone. But, that would have been more interesting for me personally, and that would have been a real shock. Because there were no real shocks and real surprises for me. Yeah, I'll admit I saw the leaks first, but still, if I hadn't seen the leaks, when you think about it, from beginning to end, what actually happened that is unique or ballsy or something that you don't see pulled off often, like when, for example, Ned Stark or the Red Wedding happens, you're like, holy shit, this is real, that kind of thing. Even the ending to the Joker, it's like, wow, he just, killed that game show host, he just killed everyone, and now he is a murderer, this shit is real. Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, everyone just goes through, again like a Disney movie, kind of bouncing off each other, shooting lasers here and there, and in the end, everyone's happy, and that's that. Only Palpatine and Ben, or Kylo, is dead. Oh, I'm sorry, Leia did die, and you know what? God bless Carrie Fisher, but they had to do that for the story. They might not have killed Leia if they didn't have to do that. So, it was a little weird too, she just kind of faded away. But again, I obviously can't blame them for that. I'm not going to go there. They did the best they could on that. However, my point is they probably would have chose to keep her alive. Anyway, that's it for now, because I have a feeling I'm going to be making like a ton of these negative videos, and I'll try to stay with some positives too. There are positives. I said I enjoyed the movie. It was well made. It was definitely better than 7 and 8. There was some high emotional points, I'll admit, but the negatives are going to keep adding up. The questions are going to keep coming, and they're not going to have answers, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. But yeah, it was a fun movie, you could say. Anyway, doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. Going to leave a bunch of shoutouts in the back of this video in text, because I'm slacking off on them a little bit. That's it. Click that subscribe button if you haven't. Then you'll get more content like this. I'm supposed to say something like that at the end. Alright, see you next time.